Yeah, sorry about that because I think STI is going to play tomorrow. That's going to be their last game against Execration. But of course, we need to focus
Okay.
to the game right now as it's showing. Of course, you know, you wanted to ban that 73% Atlas with all the setup that we're getting. And ONIC banning out the Popple and Koopa, which is a bit... I'm not sure why, because it's got that low win rate, and at the same time, I think SCI isn't going to run that kind of hero. And it was a good, of course, good first picks coming in. Brock and the Natalia has been left open. Aling has been left open. There's so many things open right now.
See, right now it's Natalia and Uranus for ONIC PH. Greed special, and of course, my favorite player as of now, Dilar with the Uranus. Favorite because literally he's doing the 8G mentality. 8G lifestyle. Let's go.
Yeah, the Uranus max potential play.
Yep.
I like Onyx's answer here with the Natalia answering the instant invade coming in from STI, especially with the Grok. But right now, STI, I think they're doing fine with the first three. Now revealing their main core hero, so there's going to be no problem, especially if ONIC PH goes for a 4-1. But I think it's still dangerous because it's a Natalia. But for me, as a marksman for Teams and Esports, if I am up against a Natalia, I think heroes with dashes with low cooldowns are the best way to go, rather than a Kimi, a Claude, right? Because carry's Phantom Step is just around 2 seconds, so you can easily dodge some of the Natalia attacks. So I think this is a nice answer for Team STI.
Yeah, they also need that Uranus killer, and obviously that's gonna come for the carry.
Yeah.
Joyd is gonna be the ban from ONIC PH. I think STI are also looking for a side laning Esmeralda. Actually, I was gonna say that we might see UG with either UG special Lunox or a Harith, but I'm not seeing UG in game right now. Probably because of some I don't know, some issues with the internet whatsoever. But yeah,
I think it's,
unfortunately he will not play game 1, so it seems.
And of course, remember that there's a storm coming, so you gotta stay safe, guys. And right now, it isn't looking safe for STI as we're getting that Hayabusa and Natalia combo. And of course, I mean, the aggression on the early game of that Valir, it will affect the rotation right now, but we are seeing new face right here at STI Draft.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm not sure about this.
I think it's good. They're playing it, man. They're doing the nothing to lose, nothing to win mentality. Let's go. They're playing the game.
They went for
playing the game.
They're playing the game. So this Mincetar is, I think, the control, at least their control for the Busa, the Hayabusa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now ONIC is going to play the game as well.
Yeah, ONIC said that they're having fun too.
Like they said on the early game.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they settled the early game with all of the rotations that will come, and I'm not going to, put...
That's true. Draft-wise, STI, but to me, in terms of execution, it's ONIC. How about you?
All troops deployed.
I gotta agree. I feel like that's gonna be. It does feel like ONIC can just roll on anyone with any composition, right? And they have been known to, in the previous season, they've been known to pull off heroes that no one even thought about using and still win using those heroes. So a lot of Hilda players out there in the chat are like super crazy right now. Yay, they're using my hero finally! But it is in the hands of ONIC, so I'm not super scared, although usually we would be.
And the fact that ONIC PH have this double assassin setup, all the more means that they have this early game progression or the early game potential, like what we're seeing right now. The first blood is in the hands of Natalia, which is looking pretty good because that damage output could really escalate quickly come the late phases of the game.
That's true. Again, the damage is all... It's all about the damage here for all of these guys, actually. Especially for STI. They're just going all out here. And exactly what is happening here, all out action on the mid lane with Jay to be pulled back in there by the Minstars. Spear of Glory, right? Something like that. That's how often this hero gets picked. We barely know the skill's name. Anyway, looking good so far still for ONIC, though they are playing around, they are still getting advantages, and that's gonna be the next war going down there from Wise.
Yeah, basically to me, I think this is just them dancing around the map area right here. But again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, they have this double assassin setup. And okay, it may sound greedy, or people might think that, oh, they might, go and really share some of the resources here into our map. But that's the thing. The fact that ONIC PH can, really be versatile and, kind of take turns in terms of getting the economy is something that you have to take into account. And like what I said, they're just really playing games, and to really expected performance from them. Even though that this is just, I think this is more of a flex gaming, they could still really pull it off.
Absolutely. I think ONIC is still in a pretty good position here, despite, The only thing that I don't like about the ONIC draft is the lack of crowd control. Their crowd control is basically all on to Venus. Otherwise, everyone is on damage mode and on execute mode, which Wolf is super happy to see, obviously. And on the top side, that's gonna be just D-Lord just hanging out, giving out kills casually here and there and giving control of the top side over to STI. But ONIC, they don't seem to mind. They don't look like they're on panic mode just yet. They seem very confident they can still win this.
Oh, yes, and speaking of confidence, Jay going a bit of overboard right there and runs to safety, but will be 3-manned up by STI, and I like it how STI is still not being deterred and still getting everything that they needed to in terms of the economy. And like what you said earlier, you are right. I mean, they do lack the crowd control for the side of ONIC PH, but they are compensating it in a way that they are grouping up together and getting some skirmish fights whenever they roam. And the thing is, the fact that the resources are there and that is their major priority could compensate for that lack of crowd control if ever they manage to really dominate onto the early game. But speaking of that, looks like X-Borg here will be having a kill for himself, really preventing them from getting this turtle take. And it looks like the main strategy of STI right here, because in terms of crowd control, STI has it, right? All they have to do is just utilize it to their efficiency, in which that they could, at least reach this into a middle game.
I mean, that's what we're looking for, right? For them to finally use an advantage that they have taken in the draft. Because I think the draft is just really great for STI. So well-rounded. Every checkbox, every box is checked. There's a checkbox in every box. Check mark in every box.
Wow.
Man, I am messing that up. So the turtle is going to be the next target here, and no contest for STI. They are still very scared about the damage output that ONIC PH can dish out. But it's happening right now here in a very, very tight spot around the jungle area. Very vulnerable if Jay wants to go in with that Natalia, but that's not going to be a point here. They go on the tower. We taking the fight in our hood, and they are getting 1-for-1 so far. Wise could be in danger here. Oh my Venus still there on the back line for that firepower that they very much need. And they will be able to escape with barely anyone going down.
Barely is the word that we have right here, Rockhart, because even though that STI had both of the teams had a one trade-off for each team, it's to me, the damage output of STI is still not enough. They have to create a lot of space for Lembot right here to just really, have this potential free hitting capacity. But the problem is the damage output of both the Natalia and the Hayabusa is something not to be neglected, because look at that. It's just really one perfect combo for Natalia, and it's wipeout for that Kaja earlier. And the transitioning in terms of roaming around the map is really in a timely manner wherein ONIC PH needed the response the most.
And the timing is actually what they're playing around, right? They're playing around the timings where they can do stuff like that. But right now, again, they are starting to get limited around the map. And STI, they had a small opening, but they're not really fully utilizing it. Going for the tank here, Yakno going down on that Uranus. Very well played here from the two tank supports, I would say, for STI. Didn't even need the help of Lembot in that one. Top lane, though, will be punished very, very heavily by ONIC PH. D-Lar as well as Jay still roaming around and maybe fishing for a kill.
Turtle resurrecting soon.
Yeah, because I think that is the best option for STI to go through. You know, just getting some pickoffs, take everything what they need. So far they're like bourgeois, you know, because they're like middle class people, but they need to get more than what they can. So I think that's like the main strategy for STI right here, since we are now looking at limited resources on their side, because they're just the only resources that they have are the incoming minions. And here, unfortunately, they weren't able to contest the turtle. It could have been a potential team fight right here. Hayabusa going in, but he is going to be cornered in return, and the carry will be having that compensation, getting that kill, but I think they're not enough. Carry will be stunned by the Valier and goes for that shutdown. But again, Dilar here on the top side, though, really good at applying the pressure for that split push.
That was actually a great play around the King's Calling, very much utilizing the King's Calling into the Guardian's Barrier combo by Dogman and Lord. But the problem is, the targets are there. They are locked in a secure, a tight area. But the damage, the follow-through, very, very severely missing here for ONIC PH, and that is what's happening here on the draft that they have, especially with RGP on the arrival. A huge lack of amount of damage.
And this is where we are starting to see the tricky situation for the side of STI. They have that crowd control, sure, but they're not using it into the efficiency. Why? Because this is what we've been talking about earlier, the early game aggression. But then again, they are retaliating with a good combo done by the Kaja carry. And if they've managed to do this right, they could still make things through. But this is the question, though, up to what extent? And this is good for the side of STI because they're giving space to them, but they're giving the pickoffs to him and really utilizing the mispositionings of the assassins on the side of ONIC PH.
Well, look at that. They're actually doing it, and Lembot feeling very confident with Dogman right behind him. That's actually saying something, considering they can't insta-kill Lembot already. Because if you cannot insta-kill the marksman, that's great. The marksman will probably have a fun time in this
Turtle
one.
resurrecting
As long as they
soon.
don't collapse, as long as it's not a 5-man collapse, right? As long as it's like 2 people, the marksman can survive, they will be ahead. And Lembot can farm. And that's what they want. That's all they want. Give Lembot the farm, right?
Yes, because that is because I think right here Lembot is the key to actually having that potential epic comeback. But up to what cost again? Hayabusa will be stealing the turtle, and down goes one of the members, which is their key player, which is going to be the Lembot going here for the assassination. Let's see if they will be going up against the aggression. Last Insanity will be used, but up to no luck. They will be dispersed, forcing to go back away. And this leaves ONIC PH again, more space, more economy for them. And this is gonna leave STI a difficult time into really compensating for their loss, because that's 4 people to none.
This is what I was talking about. The moment that ONIC decides to make a collapse, it's beautiful. The damage output is unbearable, even for the tanks. Lord is the first one running. He's leaving everyone behind. See, so I feel like that just goes to show, that displays the dominance right now of ONIC PH in terms of that pure damage output.
Yes, because even if they do have that fundamental draft, they still require the time for economy and for scaling in terms of items, and of course them being tanky in general. Sure, we are saying that the Grok and let's say the Mincetar and the X-Borg as well, in terms of survivability, is a bit of there's a specific time for that, but the thing is, it's not utilized because of, again, the damage output that 2 of these assassins from ONIC PH are bringing. And the more that you give them pickoffs, the more damage that they would get. And just looking here into the gold, actually, this doesn't really matter, but I just like to highlight the gold is kind of really starting to widen in terms of gap.
5,000 gold lead is actually quite substantial, especially if all that gold is in an assassin. 4-1 and 3 on Wise, 3-2 and 9 on Jay. Jay is getting all of the assists in this game. That is actually where you want to be, but for the meantime, where they want to be is not inside the King's Colony once more. Dogman locks down Jay on that Natalia. Great hook in, but everyone else from ONIC, they are seeking revenge. They are going in Wise with those shurikens, and Dilar following suit onto that Hilda. No one can stop him. He's just going in. Last Insanity by RGP barely does any damage at all. And Lord, he is helpless. Everyone is down. No one to do the damage. They are now forced to just stay there and keep the tower alive, which is not happening right now. So somehow they were able to clear up the minion waves at least. But the top lane Argon is going to be very open. Lord will be a very real objective as well. And now what can STI do?
Again, Rockhart, this is a similar one-sided play that we are witnessing for the side of ONIC PH. And I like their strategy earlier, but before that, again, objective-wise, ONIC PH does not really want to falter into that aspect, and so down goes the Lord into their hands, really securing more pressure for the side of STI. And STI right here, like what I said, take more than what is needed, and this is what they're doing, taking all the resources that they can in a very limited space. So what I would like to go back earlier, Rockhart, is that okay, they managed to pick off Jay, but up to what cost? Again, it's another multiple loss rather for STI, because they have to take note that they still had the Hayabusa up on their sleeve into the backlines, waiting for the carry to actually go, in a position wherein he could be in danger. And that's what just happened earlier.
Again, that carry is basically carrying the whole STI at this moment.
Carry!
The export doesn't actually have any damage, right, at this point, not that much. It's just trying to scare people off, just trying to tank all of the damage, but overall it is just onto Lembot. Lord Lord is doing his very best to keep Lembot alive, but again, so many targets on ONIC PH, you gotta choose. You gotta choose which one you want to take down.
Yeah.
And they're having a hard time in doing that.
Yeah. But I just really like to highlight for the side of STI, so far the Kaja Divine Judgment alongside with the carry free hits is doing well. But the problem is it's being retaliated rather by ONIC PH, into getting the squishier targets. And that's the problem. And right now, seeing on the top side, it's going to be the pressure. Let's see who is going to go down first. Iakno with the Brick of Health manages to disengage and back away.
Well, that is absolutely true. Man. So, what's the comeback here for STI? Like, who do they target in ONIC PH to actually get back in this game? Like, I feel like even if you take down Jay, even if you take down Wise, like, everyone is pretty good. We don't care. You already used your ultimates. We will barrel down and collapse on you. I think that's been the battle plan of ONIC PH for the past few minutes now, right?
Yes.
And to be honest, I've been watching the streams of Venus yesterday. She's been spamming that Grok. I feel like they wanted to get the Grok. And Dilar is just a placeholder here for the Hilda. And here comes the collapse here for ONIC PH. Everyone from STI seems to be still alive except for Lembot. That is a big problem. What do you do now that you're carry? And that Mincetar is already down for the count. Apparently, nothing.
Yeah, that was... in terms of initiation, it was a good lockdown for the side of STI, but then again, they weren't able to capture one of the core damagers of ONIC PH. That's why the tables have turned around. And you have to take into consideration the items and the golden resources that ONIC has that really lives up to its expectations. And going back right here, like what you said, what will they do without the carry and without Dockman as well? They have no choice but to back away and to really defend with all their might. Because if ever they be
not sure who's gonna go down first. Apparently, that will be the Grok. Very, very squishy at the hands of that Valier. The flames are really soaring and searing into the target, but they're able to catch. Oh my god, Yakno might be under a lot of problems here as he is taken out under the tower. Again, getting hooked in by Dogman on the Minsifar.
That was a good pickoff for the side of STI right here.
Great
and again,
pickoff.
this will give them a certain amount of space to just really go and take whatever they can. But going back right here, looks like another skirmish will be coming into play. Hayabusa, let's see, Minzatar will be going to play Hayabusa with the potential assassination. But look at his HP right here. Will be ganged up by members of STI. Flicker will be used alongside with the Divine Judgment, and the carry will go for the cleanup. But this is not yet over. Take note, STI will be having another pickup for himself, and they are in a very good position to go for this Lord. But I think they would be going greedy as, oh my Venus,
We're back here into the game here for STI versus ONIC PH. Alright. So we are going here. I wonder what happened to say about the Lord. Has already been taken here by STI, and the kill for Limba. Who would have thought? That is actually quite amazing. Oh my god, a lot of people are down here. Yaknuf down for the count for 40 seconds. Now, what can STI do with this window that they have? Are they just gonna farm the side waves, or are they gonna go with this Lord? I think they really, really should go with this Lord here. Please, please, please go for the Lord. And I think they are gonna do that right now. Buff gonna be taken there real quick by Lembo. Defense gonna be happening here for ONIC PH. Lord rushes into that tower, and mid lane turret second tower will go very, very quickly. Now, he's gonna be here for the invade into the base of ONIC PH. Oh my god, where is Yakno when you need him? Oh, that is gonna be a open base for ONIC PH, but they are still able to defend. They're able to clear up those minion waves finally. And now it's gonna be the comeback. The gold is actually evening up here for STI, and this could be their chance to take a game for ONIC from ONIC PH. STI is now in panic mode. Oh my god, the duo. Oh my Venus gets the kill on the right. Oh my god, the humanity, the base of STI suddenly got destroyed.
You know what I love about
what
this,
happened?
Rockhart? We are seeing the expressions from Osiris and Manjin that they are so surprised. That's not even scripted at all, man. The game doesn't
my
matter
God,
anymore. ONIC PH, man.
I know. What is
Oh
happening?
my
What-
goodness.
Oh, that feels so
Oh,
bad for STI, but at the same time, they can still defend if RGB can pull off, can clear the minion
they
wave,
can't,
but he's
man.
going for the heroes, and that will be it. Wolf, all